how we learned about sex.
Yeah.
Who told you how to have sex? Not just safe sex, but pleasurable sex.
Yeah.
Not my mama.
We all love the show Harlem. You do your thing in there, and you play Ty, who is very into her sexuality, right? And she's free. Is this something that when you saw the character that you were like, okay, I can relate to this?
No, I was very much like, one, I love that it's good writing. When they were asking, like, how comfortable do you feel, like, with your nipples out, or how comfortable you feel? And I'm like, I got this body once. I'm gonna be 25 once. If there's any time I'm gonna have these titties out, it's now. You know what I mean? But for me, I think the biggest part was to try to showcase as much as I had power over real queer sex. Like, I love making love to women. I love when women feel pleasure. You know what I mean? It was also important for me to show that femininity in the sexuality as well, and that versatility, because I'm versed.
But we're more hesitant into showing more of ourselves because we are judged, especially Black women. Because if we see Taylor Swift sleeping with this man and next week she got another man and singing about another man, I ain't never really hear her being called a hoe like Lori Harvey gets called a hoe.
Right.
Yeah. Who I only might have seen. We don't even know she's sleeping with some of these men.
Right.
We don't know what any of these people are
Right.
doing. But it's very sad that it has to always come to the point.
Be our own.
Yeah, you gotta hide. You gotta change that.
Yeah.
Also, though, I think white women just get this privilege that Black women or Hispanic women, other women just will never have. White women are revered. Like, there's a whole culture around protecting the white woman.
So many Black women have died.
Okay.
And black
men have died behind the
protection of
sexuality of a white woman and the protection of, you know, the sexuality of that white woman.
And now they all look like light-skinned Black women to me.
They all look like, again.
I can't tell.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is the last white woman alive.
She's very vanilla.
She's the only one I know.
She's the only one.
The rest of them, I'm like,
That's a plain vanilla
I
yogurt.
said Keisha. Oh no, that's Sally. That's Sally. Sorry, girl.
What I got from that clip was not them just talking about like sexual. Especially like in what I normally see. I see in the media period, not just about just Black women sexually. I see them just being attacked regardless. So whether it's her not being a sexual person, but her maybe having a whole bunch of degrees and her leading with that, I'll see Black men specifically talk down about her. Oh yeah, you know, okay, that's good, you got that, but you're gonna be lonely, you got that, you know. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that it just fits into Black women wanting to be protected. So like when I'm sorry, y'all got anxiety, so I'm trying to like calm myself down. But I don't feel like it's just Black women saying that they want to be protected from Black men, you know, when they show themselves sexually in the media. I feel like it's an overall thing, because we get attacked whether we're showing our bodies or whether we're not showing our bodies. And that's just the honest fact about it. And to kind of piggyback off of Coco, and I'm sorry, I cannot see y'all names at the bottom, it's so small. And the lady with the glasses, I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
It's taking it.
Yeah, so I kind of look at it differently. For me, I'm a very spiritual person. I believe like in my chakras, all of that stuff. I feel like that you can learn something from everybody. Some of the women that I learned the most valuable things from are completely different from me. I'm not an overly sexualized person. If I wear something, most times you'll just see my cleavage. But I come to find out that hanging out with those type of women, sometimes you leading in your feminine energy, your confidence, and showing them something different versus telling them, right? And then you actually get in a relationship with them, and then them seeing how you're still attracting your attention, just moving a little bit different, that can rub off on them. So to kind of say I'm going to just remove myself from that, but at the same time you have a problem with it, it's just kind of like weird. I don't know. For me, I'm a girls, and I'm for Black women, period. So I'm always going to try to teach them, but without having to tell somebody something, because you can still teach somebody by leading them and just showing them out of love.
There's a whole agenda on social media to present Black women in a certain light.
you can find all kinds of Black women on social media. You can find homemakers, and you can find business women, and you can find doctors and lawyers and scientists. You can find everything. But general,
what is everyone talking about? They're talking about Sexy Red and Sukiana. No one's talking about the other women.
And
right?
there's obviously an agenda to present Black women in a certain light. That's not positive. And that would affect a young boy if he has access in a negative way.
I would agree with her. I think sometimes she said two things that one I kind of agree with. But the first one is I do agree that when you're on social media, it's a lot of bashing, right? And they're not very specific about who they're bashing. They say Black women as if we're all the same, right? Nobody ever focuses on the good. They always talk about, well, some people do, but the most ran is like the ones talking about bashing Black women. Like I just saw a reel about a dude dogging a woman about her hair. Like, I mean, it was a Black dude. He thought it was so funny. He thought he ate. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking to myself, you're so ignorant. And it's a lot of this, like talk about looks and just coming down on people for things that they can control. And I say the same thing for women. Women do the same thing when it comes to height and all that kind of stuff. But it's just like we just sitting here downing each other. And for what? It don't make none of us look good. Even if a Black man sitting here tearing down a Black woman, it indirectly affects him, because guess what? They all look at us as being Black. They don't care that you are a Black man. You think they're going to separate it and be like, oh, but Black men are great. Black women are. They don't do that. They like them Black folks, Black people. So while we sitting here thinking it's cool to knock the other gender, you're indirectly just hurting yourself, because they lump us all together whether we like it or not. So we need to understand that, put ourselves on a pedestal, carry ourselves at a higher standard, have better standards for ourselves, and represent ourselves a little bit better than we are. Because right now it's damaging everybody, and we're doing it to ourselves. They don't have to do it no more. We do it. Right?
Why do the standards got to start at when we get ready to police or shame or bring attention to it? Why can't the standards start before they press record?
Because some people we all know people are raised in different households, different ways, right? So some people not raised like you, Bruiser, weren't raised in the same environment as you. Some people just generally don't know any better. This is what they grew up like. These are people who are around. Their parents were like this, right? So it's got to be a learning curve. But if we keep just sitting here bashing, and not leading by example, it's never going to be better.
So with that logic, that means everybody get a pass.
Nobody gets a pass. We all have things to learn from, right? Because nobody's perfect. It's just the topics we're talking about don't hit home to you, but ain't nobody perfect. Everybody has some growth that needs to be done. All I'm saying is, if you want to fix a problem, we got to go about it a little bit different, because nobody is going to respond well to attacks. Nobody.
Can you give me a scenario where, well, I think right now we're talking about Black media. A woman, I think particularly maybe promiscuity, nude, showing your members on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a scenario where Black men or Black people are expressing protection, and then also another scenario where we're not?
For the person, say that scenario. I'm confused.
And anybody can do that. Can you give me a scenario of what it looks like to protect the Black woman in media? And then can you give me the opposite?
So for protection of the Black woman in media, it's okay to it's okay to show shame. I don't think bashing and shame are two different. I think they're two different things, right? You can say what's inappropriate and what's appropriate, right? You don't have to bash somebody to just say what's inappropriate. You can just speak and say this is inappropriate and stand by that, right? So you do that. That indirectly is a form of protection. I'm trying to protect you from yourself. You know what I'm saying? But what I think the problem is when it comes to people who aren't doing those things is, so we focus so much on, Black women, because you see a few Black women doing something, you keep seeing Black women. No, it's them hoes. It's not all Black women, it's them, right?
I don't think y'all know what. I don't think y'all know what protection looks like. I don't even know if y'all know what it is.
So what we're saying is protection of the name at this point. We're not talking about anything. At this point, we talk about social media. We're talking about protection of the Black name, protection of what we stand for, right? And so when it comes to putting people out there, you need to have as much content, talk about good, positive things as you do bad. If you're going to shame, also throw some good stuff in there so that people can know that it's not all bad. Because if I'm in another country and I don't even know Black people like that, I would think that we ain't got because all I hear is people are bashing. We bashing each other. It's never coming from another race. It's us bashing each other. So how they going to respect us when we respect ourselves?